In today's video, I'm going to cover 8 reasons that students fail, and these are 8 objections they give me when I tell them do this and they do something complete opposite. If you're one of these people, you will fail the exam. I guarantee that. I've seen this for many years. But before that, have a look at what happens when students do listen to what I'm saying. I got my desired results with the help of HZad Education and their brilliant content. Trust me when I say this, buy their course and give the exam and you will definitely get your desired score. Same thing I say on YouTube time after time. These were his results. I got this review today. I also uploaded 4 new reviews yesterday, which we got in 24 hours from satisfied clients. You can find it on our channel, in the community page, and on Instagram, and so many more reviews that people give us because they listen to what we're saying and they score brilliantly. But these are the people who do not listen to what I'm saying, and this is what happens. So I tell the student, you need 2 to 3 weeks to prepare for this exam. And the student says, I'll book the exam this weekend. This weekend is in 2 to 3 days. It's not enough time. And if you are taking our coaching, we tell you after your free trial session what your assessment is, what scores you need, and how long it will take. If you underestimate the recommendation, you will always end up failing. Even if you're preparing on your own, if you just give it 2 to 3 days, you don't book it at least 2 to 3 weeks from now, it's not enough preparation time for CELPIP. It's a very difficult exam, and you need to give it its proper time and attention that it deserves. If you do want to know your level, we conduct free assessments live with a live tutor. You can email us in the description to book a free trial session. Point number 2, it's an objection, or you can say it's a lazy attitude from a lot of students, and that's lack of revision. So if you see your mistakes, for example, you use Grammarly at home, or you are looking at your reading and listening answers that were incorrect, or you got feedback from our tutors and now you're revising it, you revised it, but then the next class, you made the same mistake again. If I told you that the comma is supposed to be after a connector, like furthermore or moreover, you put a comma after that. If you just say, okay, got you, and you don't make at least 5 to 10 sentences using that comma, you're never gonna remember to use it properly again. So if you have a revision on any mistake in reading, speaking, listening, writing, make sure you revise it at least 5 to 10 times or at least 2 to 3 days. If you revise it again and again, your brain remembers. It's the most common formula. This is how we learn stuff in school, right? You cannot have just one revision, okay, this is my mistake, and move on. You have to revise it multiple times. Do not be overconfident. Point number 3 is not sitting down 3 hours at home when you're practicing the CELPIP exam. The actual exam environment is more than 3 hours with all 4 modules. A lot of people get nervous, get tired, and they are not used to that environment and sitting there for such a long time. Especially now with our lack of attention span using TikTok and just having instant gratification, we find it really hard to sit down and do something for 3 to 4 hours continuously, but you have to develop this habit because you want to get used to the actual exam environment. So please do that at home. Sit down for 3+ hours and practice all 4 modules. Simulate the real exam experience, okay? Point number 4 is underestimating a score of 9. A lot of people need a 7 to pass, and if you're one of those very lucky people, it's okay. But most people, the majority, need a 9 to pass. When they look at CELPIP, especially if it's their first time, they say it's an English exam. We can get this. 9 shouldn't be that hard. I mean, the top score is 12, so 9 should be basic. Trust me, 9 is the perfect score. 9 means no mistakes and very, 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 very advanced vocabulary. In fact, vocab is another point on my list. So if you think 9 is easy, remember, even native speakers and people who speak even better than me, they find it very hard to score a 9 because there is CELPIP specific criteria. You need to satisfy the CELPIP criteria and make the CELPIP examiner happy. So it's not all about perfect English. It is a lot to do with that too, but you got to hit the CELPIP points. If you again want to know what these points are, you can check all my free videos on YouTube, but they're mentioned in a lot more detail with the examiner marking scheme in my course. Link is in the description. Point number 5 is you have tried CELPIP many times, and people who have, they know how hard it is to get a 9, so they don't underestimate a 9. But what they do is they go to IELTS. Switching to IELTS is another big mistake. IELTS is generally a harder exam, especially its writing part where everybody fails. People who go from IELTS to CELPIP have a very high success rate. But people who go from CELPIP to IELTS do not. They come back and they have to do CELPIP again. So stick with CELPIP. You have built this experience. It's an easier exam and people are more successful with that. So don't switch to IELTS. In some cases, it might help. And if you are confused about that, email us with your scores. We'll tell you which exam is better for you. Email is in the description. Number 6 is believing friends. My friend assessed my writing and he said I'm going to score a 12. Or my friend says my speaking is great. He thinks I'm going to score 11. Who are your friends? Are they English tutors? Do they have 10, 20 plus years of experience? Do they know actual CELPIP candidates? Have they given CELPIP themselves? I mean, this is pretty obvious. It's common sense. Do not listen to your friends. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not teachers. Believe in real teachers and professionals. Stop listening to friends. Number 7 is vocabulary. The CELPIP vocabulary will never be good enough for the examiner. They need the best vocab, something that nobody even uses in day-to-day life. For example, I cannot use words like good, bad, so, nice, very basic words in the exam. I have to use everything in an advanced manner, very outlandish. It has to be not only the advanced words, it has to be a range as well. You have to make sure you use adjectives, adverbs, complex sentences, all those things to give yourself range and advanced vocab. So people who think, I just need to avoid mistakes, I need to write good English. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I should avoid mistakes. Wrong. It has to be fancy and you have to avoid mistakes both. So the vocab level, again, this is one thing people underestimate. Don't underestimate that. It is way more complex than you think it is for a 9+. Now, the last point is not making outlines. It's a little technical. So this is when you are writing. This is just one point about writing module that I wanted to mention. People write the task 1 and task 2 right away after looking at the question. And the major mistake people do here is they forget the question halfway into the writing. I notice this always in the second half of task 1 and second half of task 2. People start going away from the topic. They're talking about something else. And why that happens is because you have forgotten the question. In the second half of your writing, you're looking at the time, you're nervous, you're tired, and you forget the question. Trust me, I make outlines up to now, and people who score the best marks, they always make outlines. Outlines need 2 to 3 minutes. At the start of writing, you just write down and you erase it later what 1, 2, or 3 points you're going to have in each body paragraph. That's it. And if you're really good, you can finish the outline in under a minute. You look at that outline every time you're writing your paragraphs, you will be on track. Your task response will be perfect. Okay, so that's what you need to do. And people who say outlines are not important, I'm okay. I can do this. I know what the question is. They always end up making mistakes. I'm telling you, I have been doing this for so many years. I make outlines up to now because I'm a human and we all have the human mind, which has certain weaknesses, and you want to get rid of them and stop being overconfident, because most of these points are basically me telling you you're too overconfident. You need to underestimate your intelligence and go in this exam in a very humble way. If you don't, the exam will humble you. So please do not be like these 8 students, or do not have these 8 reasons like students have. Of course, we're all human beings. We're all making mistakes and we're all learning through the process. So I don't have any grudges against students who don't listen to us, but it's for your own benefit. Remember, rebooking the exam costs $300 plus, and it wastes time. It delays your immigration. It has a lot of negative impacts. So please listen to the advice I'm giving, because I'm giving this based on hundreds, actually thousands of cases that I've seen personally. All right, if you want more advice, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Take care.